Hello, and welcome to round 2 of the Parenting Roundabout podcast. I'm Catherine Haleko, and I'm here with Terry Morrow. Say hi, Terry.
Hello.
Usually on this podcast, we talk about parenting issues, but once a week, Terry and I like to get together to discuss TV, movies, books, and other entertainment topics, because it's nice to talk about something other than parenting for a change. So, well, when you get to the title of the West Wing that we watched, it was called The Mommy Problem, but it was not about parenting.
No, it was not.
That was a terrible title. Anyway, we will get to that in a minute after we talk about So You Think You Can Dance. We are finally at the top 20.
Yes.
Which I actually didn't think they were going to reveal them all during this episode, because I thought that they were going to leave the suspense for next week.
Yes.
But next week they're going to cut them back further. So that will be...
Trying to figure out procedure on the show is probably a bad idea. We'll just let it wash over us.
Stop.
And it's like, the girls, I pretty much recognized all the girls who got in. But there was a wide swath of guys that I felt like I had never seen before or heard of, or who are these guys? And then there was like, what was that guy from last week, Ghost, who was so impressive and entertaining and everything. And he was a complete ghost on this episode. I don't think we saw him once.
No. Yeah, and I was looking for him.
Yeah, I was too.
Towards the end.
So it's like they pulled some of the dudes from the back of the line and said, you guys... We want you.
Yeah, it's your turn to have a story this week.
We've been saving you.
Whether or not you're staying.
But I feel like at least half of the top 10 guys had never even had a story. I just, maybe I just don't remember them. Maybe they had something earlier on, but I felt like there was a bunch I didn't recognize. So that was weird. But
yeah, and among the girls, there's two, I think, ballroomish with like big manes of curly brown hair.
That's right.
And one is the sister, where both the brother and the sister did make it. And then, but there's another one.
Yes. We're sorry, ladies. One of you is going to have to dye your hair. You're confusing the audience. It's just the nature of starting with such an enormous number of young people and then, expecting us to remember them if they're not, conspicuously bald or otherwise noticeably different, lots of cute little blondes. Which cute little blonde was this? Yes, the little small b-boyer who I love. And I would have been sad if he didn't make it. But, there's going to be problems every time he has a ballroom rotation. I'm just saying.
Well, he may be gone next week.
That's right. Yeah, it's like, Eddie made this dramatic final thing that he got in. And by the way, what kind of sadistic editing was that on that thing? Where it was,
that was terrible.
Number one, it was, I realize in the moment, it was not like that.
Right.
It's just the way they edited. But watching it, it's like kind of sadistic towards Eddie and kind of mean to the other guy. Like, are we all supposed to be feeling bad that this other guy's going to get in instead? And at the last minute, oh no, he gets to go home. Okay. It's just awful. And the whole thing made me think of what a horrible occupation dancing is. You put literally your blood, sweat, and tears into this thing. You are the product. Any judgment is a judgment directly on you and how you have done your job. You have to stand there. You have to take it. You have to say thank you and walk brightly off the stage. And you have to do that for the rest of your professional life. Every single time you go out, that is what it's going to be like. Why do people send their kids to dance class? Don't. Oh my goodness. It's such a rough gig.
It's miserable.
Oh,
I agree.
Gosh. You have been wonderful up till now, but today you stunk, so you go home. Oh my gosh. Who can live with this? And it's over and over and over again. And this show is just a teensy microcosm of an entire career.
Right.
I just want to go lay down and cry for all of them. Like, you brave fools. Can you do anything else? Anything at all?
Right. Anything at all.
Man, it's rough. And, they make the whole big deal about the couple, Madison and I can't remember the guy's name.
Jared, maybe.
The cute little couple.
Yes.
And then he gets eliminated right before she's going to dance. And then she gets in and then they're out and they're talking to each other and saying, I love you. And the camera is like an inch and a half from them. It's just, could you just leave them alone?
Give them a moment, please.
I just really hope that was staged. I hope they got to have their moment and they said, okay, kids, come over here and talk to each other. And go. So,
right.
And not just, they didn't just really stick their camera up, Could you talk a little louder? You're crying a little bit. We can't hear you. It's just so mean. Oh, just a very mean evening of television, I felt like.
Yeah. But I did really enjoy the Mandy Moore number that they had them do. That was sort of, I feel like they didn't give it that much time and attention. I mean, they spent more time with these cliffhanging moments of you're in or you're out. But that was a really cool dance.
Yes,
that was fun
very
to
fun.
watch.
Yes, I enjoyed that. And it was, it was sort of nice in that you weren't focusing on any one person necessarily. Well, I wasn't making mistakes. You're just sort of watching the whole group. I suppose they had to watch and nitpick. But the judges. I just, it's going to be this sort of judginess from here on in. But it'll be nice when we just have a coherent small group that we know who they all are. Instead of just random, heartbroken kids crying.
Right.
Jeez. And they'll come back next year and get their hearts crushed again.
Right.
We'll be
I did notice it's very conspicuous when they don't say, please come back.
Yeah.
Because they seem to do it a lot.
They really do.
But then when they don't, you're like, oh, you better not, because they don't like you.
Yeah, and just... Oh my goodness. I mean, at least when you're a writer and you get rejected, because that rejection feels personal too, because it's your brains on the paper. But the person rejecting you is usually somewhere else and not saying, coming to your house and saying, yeah, you can't write. This is very bad. You've written good in the past, but this is not good.
It used to be great. What the heck happened?
Exactly. You get an email that you can delete or you get a letter that you can burn and then just go about your business. But, it's just brutal.
Well, we
Good
shall
luck
see.
To them all. They're happy for the moment.
Yes.
Well, 5 or 6 weeks ago when this happened.
Right, whenever that was. But from here on out, it's just... more and more goodbye.
Yes. But at least they get a good concentrated amount of TV time for their trouble. So,
yes.
That is something to put on their resume.
Yeah, and they're
onward.
They're getting to meet a lot of people, I guess.
Yeah.
Big wigs.
Hopefully that will be good for their careers.
Yes. If we want to encourage them to keep doing it.
That's right. Why, oh why? It would be better for you if they said, go home, find a job, never do this to yourself again.
Please don't even keep doing this. Oh, my goodness.
Tragic.
All right. Well.
Oh boy, I can't wait to watch more.
Yes. Okay, so The West Wing, this was the second episode of season 7, and it is called, as we mentioned, The Mommy Problem.
Yeah.
Grown.
Not the only problem about the mommy problem of the episode, but a bad way to start out. I mean,
the first thing I noticed about this, it starts with this crazy montage of campaigning, with this song, Jet Airliner playing in.
Yes.
And it just, I'm like, am I watching The West Wing? Like, it is not. And they mentioned this, they talked about this at length on the West Wing Weekly podcast as well. It just did not feel like a West Wing episode at all.
I agree that it did not. There have been times where they've used an entire song for a montage, but it's been, the one that always comes to mind is Brothers in Arms at the end of, right before the MS, or during the MS storyline. That just moves me every time I see it, and that song is such a huge part of that. Just the lyrics coordinated with the actions. I just love that. And I also think of somebody's going to emergency, somebody's going to jail, where that started out with the song. And this just looks like, hey, it's not your father's West Wing.
Exactly. Yeah. But let's use a song from the 70s. But
exactly. Well, that's true. Yeah. Yeah. So maybe it is your father's West Wing.
It was just jarring, I think. And yeah, there's other things in this episode that are just, ugh. But I did enjoy Janine Garofalo coming in as Louise Thornton.
Did you have any idea she was coming along?
I didn't. I've been
biting my tongue to not mention it.
Yeah, I do feel like I heard her name, like her name came up. Yeah. But not in such a way that I was like, ooh, I can't wait to see where she comes in or what she does. Yeah. So it was mostly a nice surprise. Yes.
Though it does have that sort of the Jimmy Smith's problem in that if you see that name in the credits, you're not going to have a wonder if she'll join the campaign moment. There's really no suspense. Right. Oh, she's on this show now. Excellent. I don't think you hire her for one episode to be snarky and leave.
No, but I usually skip the credits, so that helps, I guess.
Yes, I guess it does.
When you can do that on Netflix, just skip ahead. So I enjoyed her, although they talked a little bit on the West Wing Weekly podcast about how it was sort of it resolved way too quickly of, Josh not wanting her to be present and her not wanting to be there. And then next thing you know, she's on the plane and she's part of the team.
It sure did.
But to me, what they didn't talk about on the podcast, to me, it reminded me a lot of the Cliff Cali joining the White House thing. It was just a very similar, like, I don't like you, but you're smart, so okay. It just seemed...
Yeah. I mean, it was inevitable. It was obviously inevitable. I wish they worked a little harder to make it make sense. But, it's sort of shorthand. Like, as soon as she shows up, she's going to take the job. So let's just get this over with. Let's not waste any narrative effort on it. Yeah. It would have been nice over 2 episodes. Like, in this episode, say, she just goes away, and then the next episode somehow. But, they don't have that kind of time. So, that's okay. But I did, I had a little flashback. It made me laugh that when she gets this deal where she gets to report to Santos.
Right.
And I was remembering when Bruno Gianelli wanted to report directly to Bartlett in the second campaign, and it was a deal breaker. Both Leo and Bartlett said, nope, it's a deal breaker.
Not going to happen.
So Josh does not quite have that level of mojo, clearly. It's this was another, we keep getting these Josh is not quite on it episodes.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like we keep getting these
Superman. Come on.
We keep getting these situations where they're like, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? How are we going to fix this? And then Santos comes up with the solution on his own.
Yeah. That's less fun.
He's the one who decided to do the live TV ad. He's the one who, at the convention, went and gave the speech that he wasn't supposed to give. He just keeps on taking matters into his own hands.
Yes.
And
which, on the one hand, you do want to know that the candidate is dynamic and the one making the decisions. And Bartlett is the one who gave the speech about the dairy farmers or whatever back in the flashback episodes. For that, you want him to have a certain amount of agency. But at the same time, you don't want Josh just standing there waiting for things to happen.
Right.
Is his only good move here picking Santos as a candidate?
Yeah, that's the way
he's got to have more game than that. Or who is this guy?
Right.
That ain't right. Was he only wonderful if he had all our beloved characters around him? And must communication directors always be prickly? Is that, she's like the new Toby? Is is that part of the job description?
I guess so.
Yeah. But she's won a lot. And Toby, that was in Toby's job description that he had worked a lot of campaigns and never won. So
never won.
I guess she's an upgrade. Yeah.
Yes.
And the White House storyline just keeps being more and more depressing. And more heavy-handedly, CJ.
Right.
I mean,
it's
the
very
Greg Brock
heavy-handed.
scene only makes sense if it's CJ is the leak. If that is not the case, that scene, there's no reason for that scene. It's just weird.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say whether it is or not, but it's another thumb on the scale. And I don't like it. I think that there could be a scene between the two of them that would not be that heavy-handed. But didn't it seem to be like...
Yes.
He's coming to tell her this because she's the one who got him into this trouble. And she's saying, reveal your source, because she's like, I don't want you to go through this for me, man. Let me have it.
Right.
Other than that, without that context, does that scene make any sense at all?
No, it really doesn't.
So, So either they are telegraphing something or they are misleading in an unrealistic way. So, either way, I don't like it. I mean, I'm happy to see him, and I'm happy to show him having mixed feelings about the whole thing, even though, of course, he's going to do it. But, yeah. This
it's fraught, as you like to say.
Yes, and this storyline, I knew it annoyed me later. I didn't realize it annoyed me so much from the very beginning. So, but meanwhile, addressing your concern, the astronauts are okay.
Yeah. That
One
was
line of
such
dialogue
an afterthought.
wasn't even like our actual character saying it. It was like on a background TV screen.
Yeah.
Everybody's okay. So they care not about the astronauts, only about the political mess. This is reminding me a little about, maybe this is my problem with these season 7 episodes, is that I don't really like politics that much. I don't like following politics. I spend a good deal of my day these days trying to avoid any contact with politics online. And these episodes are just so much politics.
Yeah, because it's all about the campaign.
It is. So it's every week you're going to be rooting for people who are going to be having bad news happen to them, and how are they going to deal with it? And it's just all going to be, and even the White House is going to be politics. So, fun. I'm so looking forward to watching these episodes. Yay!
Right. We just have to enjoy Jimmy Smits and Alan Alda while
that's
we
right.
can.
Yes.
So.
In the Jimmy Smits episodes, you will be rooting for Santos, and in the Vinnick episodes, you're going to be rooting for Vinnick, and so you're always going to be, oh my gosh, what's going to happen?
Right.
There are some episodes of this season towards the end that I like very, very much, but these just, even if they're really good, I just, not my thing. But,
we will see what happens. Next week's episode of The West Wing is called Message of the Week.
Yes, and I believe it is a Vinnick episode.
Okay. And we'll also continue with So You Think You Can Dance.
Yes.
And that'll be it for our round 2 today. Please subscribe to our Parenting Roundabout podcast so you won't miss any of our episodes. We have something new for you every weekday. As always, you can find recaps, links, and an opportunity to comment on our website at parentingroundabout.com. Bye, Terry.
Bye, Catherine.
Bye, everyone.